Good afternoon. It's Heather Doyle Fraser, and I'm here today to do our afternoon pick-me-up. I'm going to start with a reading from my book, 40 Weeks, A Daily Journey of Inspiration and Abundance. I opened this just a few minutes ago to week 25, day 2, and week 25, day 3. And this is in a time of releasing. Week 25, day 2. Come back to the stillness of your heart. Rest in the present moment and breathe in the abundance around you. Your true, lovely, courageous self is waiting for you to come home. Freedom. Wow, that's a lot for just a little one. And the second one on the other page, week 25, day 3, safety. Interesting. Freedom, safety, interesting. We think about it all the time without even realizing it. We are hardwired to look for the danger and pay attention to our fears. This attention and focus keeps us safe. And over time, the safety zone becomes our comfort zone. Sometimes our comfort zone is just where we need to be. And other times, we need to stretch out of the safety of sameness and into possibility. What will you stretch into today? I like these ones today. They feel rather bold to me. My past self giving us that little message. I really love that come back to the stillness of your heart. I feel like that is such a message for me that I've been doing every day. Come back to the stillness of your heart. Rest in the present moment and breathe in the abundance around you. And sometimes it may not feel abundant, but if you get really small, if you get to look really small, you can see the abundance. You can see whether it doesn't really matter what it is, but there's something around you that could feel abundant. There's something around you that you could breathe in and feel that stillness in your heart. And remembering that in that present moment, that's where the freedom is. That's where you can, because you can choose how you are responding and reacting to things. There's not a lot of things that we can control, but we can control how we respond to what is happening, both internally and externally. Then this next reading, the safety, we think about it all the time without even realizing it. It's just ingrained, right? It's always, and right now it's on overdrive. It is totally in the nth degree, and we're hyper vigilant on all of that. And that's what we're supposed to do. That's how we are wired. That is why we're here, why we are here, why our ancestors kept, like why they lived, and then why that passed that down to us, and then we in turn pass that down to, our offspring. But you can be in the comfort zone, which this doesn't feel very comfortable, right? But I mean, in terms of the place where you feel like I can control something. And then you can still stretch a little bit outside of that. Sometimes that stretch might be coming back to the stillness of your heart. That could be your stretch today. And that could be your possibility. That could be the place where you're stretching. And it can be really small. It doesn't have to be all day long. It could be just right now in one moment. And that's what I hold on to, because I think that, these days things are up and down all day long. I've said that so many times before, up and down, upside down. But if you can recognize, okay, in this moment right here, I feel pretty good. I feel okay. And I'm going to hold on to that, or savoring whatever it is in that moment, whether it's the breeze on your face, whether it's a smile from someone on FaceTime, whether it's whatever it is. But if you can hold on to that moment and bottle it for just a second and do something actually that makes you connect with the moment, like put your hand on your heart and really, I'm going to breathe that in. That felt so good. Yesterday I was talking about I ate an orange and it was so sweet and it tasted like sunshine to me. Like I could imagine the sunshine infusing that orange. And in that moment, I just put my hand on my heart and I took a deep breath and just said, "Oh, I'm going to carry that with me because feels sublime in this one moment." And actually last night we had a big storm here where I live, and although the lightning and thunder, that was really loud, there was some moments of just gentle rain before all that started. And I kind of soaked that in too. I was like, I really like the sound of that rain. That's soothing to me. That feels good right now. And so I was able to hold on to that even then after all the big booms and the lightning and the hail and everything that came after it. But I really said, I'm liking the sound of that rain. That feels really nice to me to be here and hearing that. So that's a discussion all about on those two things. Then this is so funny. I opened our book Freedom. I wrote this one with my husband, Chris Fraser. And I just randomly opened this one. I usually don't do that. I usually kind of have an idea of what I want to talk about, but today I didn't. So I just opened it up randomly and I came to chapter 9, which is, forget what this chapter is, the title of this chapter is, Following the Spark, and the section on courage. So I thought that was really awesome for the two readings we had today, talking about courage. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of this. Courage. Taking steps toward your values takes courage. Let's define courage first. When we talk about courage, we're not talking about the kind of courage we see in movies where it looks like the main characters never have fear. That's not really courage. The kind of courage we're talking about is the kind in which fear is acknowledged and embraced, and then bold action is taken with fear going along for the ride. And that bold action, just like we were talking about before, that small stretch can be really tiny. It can be saying to yourself, I like the sound of that rain. I'm just going to soak it in. That can be your bold action. So how do we take fear and its buddy, the inner critic, along for the ride? The first step is to notice when fear is showing up. It can be tricky because both fear and the inner critic can sneak up on you through the back door or window of your life. When this happens, you can say, "Hello, fear, I see you again." And you can say, you really name it, like, I know what this is about. And even last night, after I had that experience of that soft, gentle rain, and then all of this really heavy lightning and thunder and hail, I felt a little like, whew, oh my gosh, is everything going to be okay? And I really had to kind of check in with myself and say, right now you are safe and you're okay. And even because it was startling, but knowing like I can name it and I can say like, all right, let me try to get back to my calm for a second. I acknowledge what's happening, and that's a fear, that's a real fear, but in this very moment, I'm okay. So next, you can chill fear out by slowing down your breathing. That's what I did last night. And when you do this, fear may say, "Don't do that. We might be in danger, my friend." Then take a pause and ask yourself, is what I am attempting to do truly important to me? And what I was attempting to do last night was get back to my calm. And yes, that was truly important to me. If the answer is yes, then you can imagine you are becoming your compassionate self. You can adopt the physical posture of your compassionate self and then take just one positive action step. After you have completed that one small step, you take another small step and then another. And last night, that's what I did. I started taking some deep breaths, came back to myself, and remembered, yes, but you can, this is like a lot's going on right now, but you can still bring yourself back. And that storm, probably was a metaphor for how I'm feeling in my life right now with all the chaos going on. It feels like a storm, right? So I probably was a little more startled than I normally would be because all of that threat system is heightened. But you can still come back to that breath. And you may not feel completely calm because there's a lot happening right now. But even if you can have a sliver of calm, it's better than not having a sliver of calm, right? So that's what I'm going to take with me today. I hope that this was a good afternoon pick-me-up for you and that you have something that you can take with you through the rest of your day, in your evening, or wherever you are, and that I will see you again tomorrow.